Kate Bowler calls her pre-cancer self Old Kate, a woman who is checking life's most important boxes.
They wanted the building blocks of happiness and longevity.
A dream job as a professor of Christianity at Duke University, a husband she's loved since she was 14.
Are you all done, sweet pea?
And an adorable baby boy. Then came the diagnosis, stage 4 colon cancer. To be able to glimpse, to stand on the edge,
yes,
like you have been, is something most of us don't get to experience. What do you think is the most important thing you learned?
It showed me right away what I couldn't possibly live without. Fear is a flashlight. It's showing you exactly what your heart wants and needs. So that has really stayed with me.
I love it.
At first, Kate feverishly hustled to prepare, speeding through her days to make up for all she would miss. What were you doing?
You know, I tried to build everyone's life, like not just like paperwork, but I started sort of Marie Kondoing everything. I was like, I should give this away. These are all my things. Like you're kind of putting everything in its place, but like without me. And that wasn't, it was such a loving impulse, but it wasn't the right one to keep living.
In academia, Kate had researched America's obsession with self-help and positivity, but found little solace in the formulas that could not slow down her ticking clock.
Just let me point out the books that actively blame people for causing their own diseases.
When I woke up from that first surgery, and I'd just been told I had a 14% chance of living, and the hospital bookstore had an enormous display, especially of Joel Osteen books with his Best Life Now. I walked in with my little IV pole and just started helpfully removing the books from the shelf that I thought other people like me shouldn't read. The poor hospital bookstore manager came out and was like, ma'am. And I was like, you can't sell these books, which blame sick people for their own illness. You can't sell this to me. At this point, I have dismantled most of what was a lovely display.
To Kate, the books implied that if she only had the right attitude, she could beat the disease.
Yeah, because if there was a formula, I want it.
Yeah.
Like, if it's just learning to be present, then I'm a wonderful person, and then I get to live in perpetuity, I accept. Like, give me that plan.
A lot of letters even suggested that, of course, it was God's plan.
As a professor of Christianity, Kate devoted her life to understanding our relationship with God. But counting on God's plan offered little comfort. I can only imagine the conversations you've had with God over the years.
Yeah.
Where are you today?
I guess I just had to stop imagining that faith would even be a guarantee that my life would work out. We can believe that we are part of a story about love and a day in which there will be no more suffering, no more tears. And like, I believe in a future that will include that story, but it might not be right now. And so I just want to teach myself to be someone who is a person of courage and a person of hope.
This will be a hard journey, my psychologist says. Is there anything you can set down?
I realized maybe that the first thing to put down was that bucket list feeling, the feeling that I would be able to like check off parts of my life.
Kate also realized she could put aside climbing the pyramids or savoring Italy's finest dishes.
The most beautiful things, none of those things would really make the list. Like
what?
Like at night when I walk in and I see that my son has somehow managed to hold 20 stuffed animals as he falls asleep, as if one will be neglected in the snuggling process, and just like marveling at the love that we're given. It's like that would never be on a list.
QRSTUVWXYN. Yeah, or Z.
Do you see yourself at your son's wedding? Do you see yourself holding grandchildren? Do you see all of that stuff in your mind's eye?
I think a lot of the future is gone, the confidence in it. But when I look at the people that I love, all I can see is loving them forever. So I try not to be too prescriptive about how it has to turn out. I just want to pour everything I am into this big, beautiful foundation. And maybe I'll get to build the building. I hope so.
I hope so too. I hope she does get to build that building. She does live in the moment. It's so funny. We all have bucket lists. Like, I want to do this, this, and this. And she's like, hug your kid.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, right.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes you think the lists are important. By the way, Kate was part of a clinical trial for a new immunotherapy drug, and doctors said there was a 3% chance it would shrink her tumor. Well, the tumor disappeared. She says her prognosis is good, but she says it's with an asterisk, so she remains vigilant. She still sometimes goes from scan to scan. Am I okay? Am I okay? But her book is great. It's called No Cure for Being Human.
That's a great title for a book.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Hoda Kotb.